And we get to Jungkook, our dear, dear Maknae, who has been making history with his latest album, Golden. I'm excited. Okay, if you do end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when there's a new video getting published. And share the video if you can. It's really helping my channel. Please do it. All right, on to the video.
Jungkook's songs are like movies. He really has the vision of a director. He fills you from the sonic to the visual to the intellectual level. If you listen, and I mean really listen to his songs, you would feel like he is putting you in a scene in a movie. He sets up every verse like it's a scene in a movie. He writes the scene, he directs the cinematography, and he communicates the emotions. First, writing the scene. In Film Out, right off the bat, he writes a scene. You, in my imagination, are so vivid, as if you are right there. But I reach out my hand and you suddenly disappear. He continues in the second verse, from all the memories stored in my heart. I gather up the ones of you, link them together, gazing at them, projected across the room. I feel you with every burst of pain. In My You, a song that he actually wrote for armies during the pandemic, and in his dedication, he actually said, overwhelmed by all these emotions I have when I think of you. Sometimes I wondered, what if all these things disappear? What if all this were just a dream? And in the lyrics and the beat, you can actually sort of hear, feel, and see that beautiful summer afternoon, but with a foreboding sense of grief. In the lyrics, he said, summer has already spread in the air. Breeze is already blowing. The last cold snap is going out. The days were getting longer and longer, but my days were still going on and on and on. I got wet in the sun shower and looked up at the night sky. That is straight out of a scene of a magical utopia somewhere. He continues, it was quite a lonely night in the blink of an eye. The dark faded out, blooming under the sunlight. Memories with you and me. Stay was more magical, fantastical, with an inkling of loneliness. In the lyrics, he said, was it a dream? I think I saw you when I opened my eyes. The room's empty again. He continues, I gently cast a spell. My heart beats louder than ever. We're always in this moment, together, wherever. In Your Eyes Tell, it's a blurry scene, as if he really doesn't want you to see what it is that he is presenting in front of you. He says, why are my eyes filled with tears? Hey, stay by my side and laugh. A future without you is a world without color, filled with monochrome coldness. He shifts to something melancholic, sad in its beauty, in Still With You. Your faint voice that brushes past me. Please call my name just one more time. Though I'm standing under the frozen sunset, I will walk towards you, one step at a time, still with you. He adds a certain sense of desperation, as if this beautiful emotion of love isn't completely safe. It's not complete in its beauty, because there's always a possibility of loss. He continues, in the dark room, without a single lighting, though I shouldn't be used to it, it feels familiar again. This subtle noise from the air conditioner, if I don't have this, I think I will break down. And though all of those scenes may be enough and impressive enough, he doesn't just stop there. He actually writes the milieu. The milieu is the social environment or the surrounding culture. In a movie, that actually includes the description of the family, the house, the neighborhood, people. And when you put all of these elements together, you have a sense of intangible setting, one that exists and unique to that specific movie or narrative. In Film Out, it was actually a dreamlike state an imagination. In the lyrics, he said, "You in my imagination are so vivid, as if you are right there. From all the memories stored in my heart, I gather up the ones of you." You know that this scene is actually happening in his head, a world he created and filled with the memories of the person that he loved. My You, on the other hand, happens in a fresh summer day. He said in the lyrics, "Summer has already spread in the air. Breeze is already blowing. The last cold snap is going out." There's a certain sense of lightness and brightness in here. But in Still With You, he actually shifts gears. This one's a little sad as it happens during a sunset. He said, "Though I'm standing under the frozen sun, I will walk towards you, one step at a time, in the dark room, without a single lighting, though I shouldn't be used to it." He creates a certain openness, and yet he still manages to sprinkle the scene with some sort of loneliness, as if all the possibilities aren't enough without the person that he cared for. Next is cinematography. He actually frames and sets up scenes like an Oscar-winning cinematographer too. A cinematographer is actually the one who frames the scene. He creates the appropriate and beautiful lighting and makes sure basically that every space in a frame tells a story. In Still With You, he sings, "Though I'm standing under the frozen sunset." You can already feel and imagine the contrast of colors in the horizon as the scene unfolds. In My You, he sings, "Summer has already spread in the air. I got wet in the sun shower and looked up in the night sky. In the blink of an eye, the dark faded out." It is just pure genius how Jungkook actually is able to add beautiful small details that will actually make the scene unique. That line about sun shower is going to look like teardrops of diamonds falling from the sky. I can't wait until Big Hit actually turns his visions into a reality. In Stay, he sings, "When I open my eyes, the room's empty again." I can already see that this scene will put us behind the eyes of the character. He is going to allow us to explore the room from the point of view of the main character. I am sure that with time and some more experience, I think Jungkook would be perfect to direct a movie based on BTS's universe, and it would end up being beautifully insightful. It wouldn't just be about beautiful framing and beautiful lighting. It would be beauty with substance, and I am so here for it. Enantiodromia. Enantiodromia is the tendency of things to change into their opposites. This was in fact developed as a psychological development theory. In particular, Carl Jung used the term to refer to the unconscious acting against the wishes of the conscious mind, updating the Greek concept of akrasia in modern psychological terms. Jungkook uses enantiodromia in his lyrics. He would use a certain object and describe using its opposite characteristics or make it do what's against its nature. Usually, something like that would be brutal, but his natural gentleness actually allows him to create something sublime, something beautiful. It is Jungkook's kind of poetry. In Your Eyes Tell, he says, "Even the darkness we see is beautiful." If you think about it, we actually don't see anything in darkness, not even emptiness. But for the person he is singing to, even the void is beautiful. That in itself gives the feeling better depth. It isn't beauty based on looks or anything physical. It's beyond that. It is so powerful that it is enough to make you find the beauty in darkness. In My You, there is a line that says, "The dark faded out." In a movie script or any kind of narrative script, things usually fade to darkness. When the lights go out and a scene is about to end, it fades to black. It's a universal code in film or video making. It fades to darkness or fades to black. It's so universal and so commonplace that no one even questions it, but with a single line, Jungkook actually challenges a practice and imagery used for hundreds of years. What if darkness fades out? What do we have? In Still With You, he says, I'm standing under the frozen sunset. A sunset brings so much warmth, visually at least, the vibrant orange battling purple and blue as the sun sets against the twinkling crystals of the sea. It's a beautiful temporary place, which adds to its majesty. But Jungkook describes it to be frozen, immovable, permanent and forever. I never doubted Jungkook's ability to create beautiful scenery, but it's always a pleasure to hear him write beautiful sceneries too. It's always a step above just being beautiful. His words are actually challenging, always inspiring you to stretch your imagination in order to fully grasp what he has in his mind. Don't ever let those big doe eyes fool you. They may be cute, but there is so much depth beneath those. Jungkook likes having conversations. He doesn't really seek to impress in his songs. He seeks to converse. He doesn't want to impress. He wants to be understood. That's what it feels like to me. He seems to be writing things down so others can understand what it is that he's trying to communicate, not really so that they will be impressed with his mastery over poetry. This is probably why he rarely uses wordplay. He wants things clear, especially because most of his songs are written for armies. In Stay, he sings of his longingness for someone else. He sings tomorrow that is unchanging. Like a crazy person, I keep saying, wherever you are, I know you always stay. Clear and concise. In My You, he sings of how the other person is the reason he managed not just to survive, but to actually shine. His determination to push through is all in the honor of the love experienced from the other person. He sings, all the reason why I can smile, all the reasons why I can sing this song are that I'm next to you. So I'm thankful. I'll shine brighter. In Still With You, it's about missing someone and wanting to see the other person so badly. And he sets up a very, very familiar scene. Nothing too fantastic. It's just one person missing somebody. He sings, this subtle noise from the air conditioner. If I don't have this, I'll think I'll break down. Laughing together, crying together, the simple emotions, perhaps they were everything to me. When would it be? When I meet you again. I'll look into your eyes and tell you, I've missed you. These songs communicate clearly how important the other person is to him, which actually leads me to my next point. Who you are to me. A common theme in Jungkook's songs is an ode to someone he cares for. Most of the time, as he admitted, that is armies. He has this conscious effort and delicate care to communicate just how much the other person means to him. It sounds simple, but in the age of love songs where it's all about obsession, sex, and selfishness, Jungkook's tendency to take the conversation towards emotional connection is very refreshing. Add to that Jungkook's constant reminder that ARMY is often his source of musical inspiration for his songs. It makes the songs even more special, especially to those who matter the most, the fans, ARMYs. It's like a shared secret displayed to the world, but only truly discernible to those who matter the most. Melodic, easy and chill. One of the best things about Jungkook's music is how it feels like the type of songs anyone can sing. He is by far one of the best vocalists to ever come out of Asia, and I'm even going to wager that he's one of the best vocalists globally of all time. He can sing the most complicated melodies in the world with ease. But the songs he has written have all been soft in melodies, which actually makes it easier for a lot more people to be able to sing them. It reminds me of the Beatles. They have penned some of the best music even using today's standards, but none of their melodies require advanced singing level skills. And that leads us to the next point. Beauty of music in its purest form. Jungkook trusts his music in its purest form to never overproduce any of the songs that he has written. He keeps it simple, trusting in the sheer beauty of his melodies and beats. He does not put 100 layers of instruments and beats that is almost impossible to fully digest what you are hearing. He writes beautiful music and really does not use technology too much to manipulate the music to make the song beautiful. Constant progression in his beats and melodies. He rarely uses one beat throughout the songs. He always changes the beats and melodies in each section, just like a real director. He seems very careful in making sure the shifts in his stories are clear in every aspect of the art piece. Here is film outshifting to a different beat and melody from the first verse to the second verse. Here is Stay, layering the beats from the first verse to the second verse. Listen to his songs and pay attention to how he actually shifts almost verse to verse. It does feel like he's shifting from one scene of a movie to another. Narrative progression. Jungkook ends his songs with hope. Some of his songs start with pain. It's him longing to be with someone or looking for someone he used to have in his life, but by the end of his songs, there's always a tinge of hope. It may be in the form of a promise to keep on going, to honor the person that he loves, or a promise to do his best to be with the other person. In Stay, he sings at the end, "The cold wind blows. I take your hand, I feel your breath. Once I close my eyes, we'll always be together." In My You, he sings at the end, "On a starry night, hope my you sleep tight. Shining purple light. That I'm next to you, I'm thankful." In Still With You, he sings at the end, "Hold me then. Behind your faint smile looking at me, I'd like to paint a beautiful purple color. Even if our steps might be in different frequencies, I'd like to walk this path with you. Still with you."
I have to confess that I had this notion in the beginning that Jungkook is more the beat kind of guy, not really the lyrics kind of guy. Meaning, in a song, he gets more attached to the beat rather than to the lyrics. Until I actually started paying close attention to his own songs. And I realized that there are two dominant themes, ARMYs and BTS members. And it just struck me that he loves passionately, and it spills through everything in his life, including his creativity. And I think it's kind of odd for me in the beginning because I don't see him as the kind of guy that loves passionately, but it seems that he does. And he actually sort of said something that was consistent to my thought when he said that whenever he writes a song, the only thing that he can think of is ARMYs. So it feels like all the songs that all of his songs are actually for ARMYs. So that's just my impression. I don't know if I'm correct, but I feel like that's who he is. It's his love that fuels his creativity. And that concludes our series, 7/7, our dear Maknae. I'm so proud of what he has been achieving with Golden. I do hope that he continues, and I'm really looking forward to his future world tour. He said that he wants to come out with more songs before he does that. I don't know if he's going to release one more before he enlists for the military. He doesn't have to actually, because he's the youngest, so he actually has several, like 5 years or 6 years before he has to enlist. So I don't know. Well, anyway, that's going to be his decision. But I'm here for it. I'm here for his growth, and I really can't wait for more. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have topics that you want me to cover, if you have ideas for the next series, let me know. You can leave them in the comment section below. You can say anything that you want to say. Just make sure that you say it respectfully. And you can get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And also, if you ended up liking this video or this series, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe and hit that notification button. And of course, share the video. I appreciate you. Thank you.